Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Hopefully everyone is having a great Tuesday. Today, I kind of really want to dive into the bankruptcy world. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to be talking some scary stuff today. Welcome if you are new. I'm a raging SoFi bull, let alone tech bull, and also fintech bull. This YouTube channel is not really designed to be around like one stock, but I do talk about SoFi fairly often, and typically all my videos tend to get like a lot more views when I talk about SoFi, but I kind of have to talk about SoFi because I'm a long-term investor. I've been buying this friggin' thing since February of 2024 on one profile, and then on my channel public account on this YouTube channel, I've been buying SoFi during Liberation Day, and also within the last several months as well, too, if you've been following along. If you do want to subscribe here today or tomorrow, whenever you see this video, or maybe next week, subscribing and liking my content is entirely free, and it's gonna work in your favor with the YouTube algorithm to see my content easier, especially for notification purposes. But today I kind of really want to dive into what the top bank is pretty much doing and also saying, and how it very well could impact SoFi. I'm going to be showing my public account on this YouTube channel momentarily in this video, so please stay tuned for that. And this YouTube channel is also fairly new. I do have other YouTube channels unstock related. I have not advertised this channel just yet. I'm looking to grow it organically, so any of you all that comment, like these videos, are obviously stock-loving gurus like me. Let's go ahead and look at some of this stuff now, shall we? So, 6 days ago, JP Morgan, the top bank in the world, pretty much has been putting out a lot of, like, I want to say, hit pieces on the credit lending sector. And it's a hit piece because it basically signals that, hey, things might be cracking in the labor market, and us as the top bank is really going to be pulling back from issuing a lot of credit, whether it might be through mortgages, credit cards, personal loans, business loans, maybe investments or whatever, right? Picture that you are a bank, or I'm a bank, and you want to take out, like, let's say, keep it simple, $100,000 for a business loan, and you have zero revenue already generated, but you have an amazing business idea. Right now, that ain't gonna fly. To be perfectly honest, I don't even know if you could get a loan with like zero revenue anymore. I remember my grandfather telling me like many years ago, when he actually opened one of his first businesses, he would just literally walk into a bank and argue his case. And I'm talking about like, oh boy, it was like the 60s and stuff, right? Very long time ago. Obviously, we don't live in the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s anymore. Everything is automated and everything is ran on pretty much a debt-to-income ratio, especially when it comes to real estate, mortgages, and pretty much just like, I mean, honestly, even personal loans, applying for a new credit card is also like a debt-to-income ratio too. So now let's say you come into my office wanting $100,000, and you have a lot of revenue, and you're like, hey, you know, I'm just looking to expand my business. I'm a profitable company. I'm looking to grow my company to even more profitability. Sure, you know, that could very much be a calculated risk. Now, a lot of these articles here, I don't really want to spend too much time diving into each and every single one. They pretty much say the same thing. JP Morgan is putting out a signal that they, as the top bank, are pretty much looking over every single application and every single ounce of credit with more of a fine comb. Basically saying like, hey, no, we're going to make lending a little more restrictive. So why would they do this? Okay, well, if we go ahead and look at JPM's stock price here, obviously the stock price is definitely very much beaten down, like, I want to say, just across the board of the entire market. But is the stock beaten down because there's a problem in the economy, or is it because of a geopolitical concern and also AI fear as well too? Because a lot of the reason why JPM is very much trickling down is primarily because of the stuff in the Middle East. You can't, rule out the geopolitical stuff that's happening right now, and the fact that oil is surging very high, but as well as all the reports that we're pretty much getting about the labor market and a lot of inconsistent data, because we'll go ahead and get one report saying, hey, the economy added X amount of jobs, and then we'll get another report saying, no, wait a second, we ended up losing a lot of jobs as well too. So what do I personally see from this as just a retail shareholder looking kind of like at this in a non-hedge fund, multi-billionaire, like very much Wall Streeter point of view? I am just a typical dude, by the way. I'm a small fish in a big pond here, just like anyone else, but I have made a lot of money in the market over the last several years, been in the market since Rona, and my philosophy is very simple. Pick great management teams and see what they do. If they're going to be continuing to execute, obviously my positions here on this YouTube channel is SoFi, AMD, Adobe, Hood, Palantir, Meta. They're amazing management teams. Meta, you can definitely argue that the management team is definitely spending a lot of money. But who knows? Maybe their spending of money is going to be paying out. PayPal's a separate issue, okay? But when it comes to JPM, you got to be looking at the top dogs to really see what they're doing per se. And what I'm really taking away from this is I don't really believe that like a big recession is going to be happening anytime soon. When I say anytime soon, I mean probably more than likely this year. Is a recession going to end up like coming along in the next like couple of years? Oh, absolutely. Now, how big of a recession? Is it going to be like the mother of all recessions, like the Great Depression, 2008, the Great Financial Crisis? I honestly believe that there's going to be a mother of all crashes during Social Security going bankrupt, roughly around 2035. That's also when the, I believe, millennial generation is going to be facing retirement, and there's going to be a lot of money being moved around. So that's really a different topic to pretty much dive into. But for me personally, looking at JPM issuing a statement like this, one, I'm not invested in JPM. Does JPM obviously affect SoFi? It does. And that's the reason why we're talking about this today. What if, hypothetically, a recession were to hit sometime this year? And I was completely wrong. And there is actually a labor market recession, okay? Not necessarily like a housing market crash, even though during any type of recession, housing can definitely get hit. But unlike 2008, where the housing sector led the actual crash and the housing market went down by 50-60%, it could very much be a labor market recession with the amount of AI jobs being pretty much overtaken. AI is replacing jobs. You also have the current administration, the White House, pretty much stating that, hey, they're laying off a lot of government employees, which their argument is skewing the data. Their argument that the data is skewed in a bad way is because they're laying off people in the government. However, other people are saying, hey, wait a second, no, there's a big problem in the labor market. Which one do you believe in? Me personally, I'm kind of pretty much in the middle, and I'm just buying, like, the friggin' dip. That's really what I'm personally doing. I'm picking up a lot of bonus shares. I got my positions very much built. Today is very much like another kind of green day, kind of like yesterday. It could be maybe much like buy the rumor, sell the news for the Fed meeting tomorrow. If the Fed's going to be very hawkish, the green that we're seeing today and yesterday could be annihilated in a blink of an eye. Not to mention Iran is basically laying off on a lot of attacks and very well maybe could be over relatively soon. That could also be bullish. But going back to the lending department about JPM, what do I personally believe? I really feel that they just kind of want to do some spring cleaning in a way. And call me a little crazy, but I think they also want a reason for their stock to go back up. Now, why do I feel this way? Because JPM is obviously the top bank of all the banks. They're the top banana. They have investors in their bank. If we go ahead on the chart here and look at JPM all the way back on a, let's go ahead and go back to, oh boy, 2021, 2022 fall. Let's go ahead and say you bought the dip on JPM. $121. You're talking all the way back to 2022 where the market was pretty much couldn't even take the pain anymore. Hypothetically, if you got into JPM, then right now you'd be up 151% on a bank. On a bank that also pays dividends as well too. Now, before 2006, bank stocks were rock and rolling. A lot of banks went bankrupt during 2007, 8, and 9, the great financial crisis. A lot of banks got bought out. A lot of banks had to be bailed out. Their stock went to utterly, poop. But JPM has definitely performed in the last couple of years. So if you really want to ask my personal opinion, what do I really feel is the reason, like I just stated? I think they're just doing some spring cleaning and basically signaling to the market saying, hey, long-term investors in our stock, we're making precautions hypothetically if we go into a recession. Hypothetically, if we do get into a recession, we're going to start now looking at high-risk loans and credit. We're going to be swaying away from high-risking credit, okay? If you really notice, you go back to Liberation Day once again, you buy the fear, buy the dip. You're picking up JPM at a very discounted price all the way at the bottom. And looking on a zoomed-out chart, obviously, it kind of looks like, once again, it's a buy-the-dip opportunity. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe JPM crashes and we go back all the way down to the $200 range and the entire market free falls. Now, how does this really affect SoFi? Well, SoFi is very much different and set up as a fintech. Obviously, SoFi has three sides of their business. They got the lending, which is growing not as quickly as their financial services. And then also on the opposite side of their financial services, they also have pretty much a money-making method of a all-in-one shop, an ecosystem. You open a savings account with SoFi, you can very well get financial services, and holy banana ball shit, what the hell just happened? Hold on. SoFi is selling off here. Woo! What just happened? Hold on. Wow, man. Hold on. What the bananas? Oh, hot tamale. What's going on here? Hold on. Hold your horses. I may have to buy some SoFi. Hold on one second. Hold on. SoFi stock. What just sent this stock down? Something had to have happened here. SoFi. I'm looking. Did we get a bad rating or something? Ooh, wow. Hold on. I'm not seeing anything on. Let me go ahead and double check AI. Hold on. Why did yeah, believe it or not, I'm asking AI because I'm not seeing anything news-wise. Okay, let me scan articles really quickly. Something obviously just sent SoFi very much lower. Hold on. So there is an article I just literally pulled up here. It was posted 9 hours ago. What is this crap? SoFi 3 minutes ago, actually, it was posted. Never mind. SoFi dips. This came out March 17. Why are we just experiencing an afternoon sell-off here? All right, let's go ahead and pull up this article here. SoFi stock slips as broader fintech stock rallies higher. Go F yourself. What is this? This is just regurgitation bullcrap. SoFi literally just snapped below 16 bucks. Obviously, I didn't catch a buy over here. Man, I'm not really seeing anything too much. And this kind of just screwed up my video entirely. SoFi is down today because the credit announced restrictions. Yeah, exactly. Okay. JPM bungholes. Look at this. This is pretty much what Gemini is pretty much saying right now. SoFi is down roughly March 17th due to the broader ripple effects in the financial sector, JPM. Okay, well, once again, to really wrap up this video, I literally just got side blasted by a nut tap entirely. Obviously, JPM releasing that article, it is a hit piece to the entire banking industry. So, obviously, we're going to see some pain moving forward with SoFi. It's going to be either temporary pain or it's going to be like a little ainfully. If you want to ask my personal opinion, I'm going to be buying shares. If SoFi breaks below 17 bucks here, I'm going to be picking up more shares. That's what I'm doing personally. But SoFi is set up very much different than JPM. And Anthony Noto, on a closing note to this video, is very much a baller when it comes to performing under a tighter market constraint. And I really wanted to talk about, but I see this video is already a little long now. I really wanted to talk about how Anthony Noto operates very beastly, a beast mode, when the market is very much like going down to Chinatown. I really wish that I was buying SoFi in 2022. I didn't know about SoFi back then, but oh man, my average on SoFi would be in the sixes instead of the $7 on my private profile. And yeah, I mean, I would have probably picked up SoFi on multiple profiles, to be honest. So I'm gonna wrap up today's video here. I gotta dive into a little more about SoFi free falling here. So stay tuned for another video tomorrow. If you are a SoFi shareholder, have no fears because this company has a great management team. And obviously there are a lot of external factors at play here. And we are dealing with a bunch of bungholians. That's pretty much about it. Beavis and Butthead fans, you're probably going to love me too. All right, later everyone. Oh boy, SoFi is going down!